When you're lost, take your trust. That's me. That's so sick. I'm a fraud, call me a liar. A true psycho. Ooh, I'm a fraud, call me a liar. A true psychopath, don't love me. When you're lost, take your trust. Yeah, that's me. Oh, that's me, that's me, that's me. Yes, I'm a fraud. Call me a liar. A true psychopath.
What up, what up, what up? Hey, you guys, let me just, I don't know if I can highlight this. Hold on. Why does YouTube do this? Okay. So K-Braze wrote something just really incredibly sweet, and I just want to read it out. Jen Liu, don't ever change, please and thank you. I really appreciate your point of views on everything. Thank you, K-Braze, and you've been a member for 3 months of the 11 billion club. Thank you very much. And Vanessa A, thank you very much for being a member of the Cuckoos for 5 months, and Nadine, member for 9 months, long enough to have a baby of the whole club. Thanks, you guys. I appreciate that. You guys are the best. I have to begin at precisely 9 p.m. Crime Curious because I'm a tight schedule. Tomorrow morning, they gonna start again. This is not over, y'all. This is not over. The real trial is about to begin. Okay? Let me say hi to y'all first. Hey, Modine. Hey, Jenny Mounts. Hope I said your last name correctly. Hey, Nadine. Hi, Cement Shoes. Hey, K-Brace. Hi, Crime Curious. Natasha. Tony. Becky P. Spicy Sugar. Vanessa A. Carol freaking Claus. Deb and P.A. Eddie, don't worry. So good to see everybody. Missy's Angels. Chicken Lady Cluck Cluck. You might not want to fall asleep to this. This stuff is a... Listen. Hey, Jujubee. Now, listen, I do enjoy true crime, but even this had me clutching my pearls just a little. Just for a second. Hey, Lisa. Good to see you. Hey, Stephanie. Welcome. Melissa Strange, Team Psych Ward. Hello. Let me see. Princess Megan Elsa. Corey Reeves. Good to see you. Allie. Vanessa A. It's jumping, you guys. Hey, keyboard. I think I got everybody. If I missed you, it was not intentionally. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. I would appreciate just one other little thing. If you could just do me a favor and hit the like button on your way in. It helps your girl out. It's free, easy way to support the channel. Keeps me in the algorithm, YouTube and the algorithm. So bougie. Hey, Adrian, good to see you. So before we get to the interrogation, which Law and Crime uploaded it separate, and they did fix the audio a little bit. Although I was monkeying around on my iPad today and I forgot I have this other program, and I can actually adjust and edit audio. And so if this doesn't, it's kind of late in the day and in the game, really, because now we're getting into the real trial, which starts tomorrow. Anyway, but now that I know I can do it, hey, Charlie, good to see you. But now that I know that I can do it, I'm going to be doing it. So I feel very fancy. All right. So the first thing we are going to watch is the verdict. Let me make sure that this is the actual verdict. You know how long crime likes to be. Oh, yeah. I just want you guys to see this again. Allie Erickson, also Alex Erickson. I just can't call her Alex all the time. I always can only call her Allie because what that's just who she is to me. Hey Donna, Mike, good to see you, babe. But Alex Erickson, she went through a ton of TikToks and she found some really interesting things, like stuff from people who knew Taylor before all of this, knew her and how she was with her child. And it just, she had found some really good stuff. And also, um, she also shared the verdict live as well. Ah, Carol from Claus, welcome to Loose. Welcome to the ward. We're glad to have you. And I would have been more active in your chat, Ellie, and I feel bad for this because I don't want you to think like anything's up or anything. I had to make dinner. Can you believe these fools insist on dinner every night? Like they need to eat every day? Ugh. Oh, rude. All right, so first we're going to watch the verdict. And then we'll get down to the interrogation. All right, are we ready? Here we go.
Right. If you would hand that to the bailiff then, please.
I'm glad to be stuck with you, and I don't think of it as stuck. I think of it as lucky AF. Carol freaking Claus. Oh, thank you, Eddie. Don't worry. Thank you. Welcome to the Colors. Welcome to the ward. Every day, Alex Erickson. Every day. It's Harry Potter and the audacity of this bitch.
First verdict
here
reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of first-degree intentional homicide as charged in count 1 of the information, dated this date, July 26th, 2023, signed by the foreperson. Second verdict reads as follows. We, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of mutilating a corpse as charged in count 2 of the information, dated this date, July 26th, 2023, signed by the foreperson. The next verdict reads, we, the jury, find the defendant, Taylor Denise Schabusiness, guilty of third-degree sexual assault as charged in count 3 of the information, dated this date, 26th day of July, 2023, signed by the foreperson. The verdicts appear to be in order. Do either of the parties request that I poll the jury? Mr. Saunders?
No.
Mr. Freilich?
Yes.
Oh, of course. He wants
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do.
Spoiler alert. He pulls the jury. Each one of the members of the jury said that was their verdict, and that's that. So let me get over here to what we really want to get into, which is the interrogation. So hold on, just give me 1 second. I'm going to say something, and it might be controversial, but I want you guys just to hear me out, okay? While I think that what she did to Shad's body with the apparatus after the fact was a violation of him as a human being, as just, it's wrong on every single level. I do have some concerns that on appeal, and it does not matter how they sentence or decide this next part of the trial, whether they decide that she's not guilty by reason of mental illness or defect, or they decide that she is guilty and she should serve life without the possibility of parole. She's going to appeal, and it's going to be on that third charge. And I do think that she actually may, because of the way that the law reads, I do think that she should be punished for that part of it. And I do believe that there is a, I don't know, maybe there isn't, and this is why they went with this, but I kind of think there is. There are other, because Jeffrey Dahmer was charged in it with them. So there are other charges that have to do with what she did that they could have used, and instead they chose to do it this way. And I think that although I understand why they did it, what I'm saying is I think that on appeal, it might actually get overturned. It doesn't actually change anything for Schabusiness because either way it goes, whether she is found not guilty by a mental illness or defect, or she's found culpable and is sentenced to life without the possibility of parole, either way, she's not getting out of anywhere to walk free again. And I think that the I really honestly think that this is just my gut feeling going into it. First of all, they debated for or deliberated for about 37 minutes. Okay. On her guilt. I think it probably I think the 7 minutes was them deliberating, and the 30 minutes was making sure that they filled out the verdict forms correctly. And that's just the way I feel about it. Um I I don't think that this jury, after hearing this interrogation video, um, or seeing the depictions of the autopsy photographs, or um, the the diagrams of the autopsy, I don't think they're going to be swayed by anything that the defense brings tomorrow at all. I think she's going to be facing life without the possibility of parole. Period. Um, Yeah, 37 minutes, and I'll never forget it because, they ended at 6 o'clock, and that's when I was like, "Oh, shit, I gotta make dinner," right? So, I go in there to start doing all of the things, and I'm, like, almost, getting through making dinner, right? And boom, verdict in, and it was 6:37. I only know that because that's when I sent Allie the message, "The verdict is in." So, I do have concerns that she might be successful on appeal for that third charge. But either way, the jury finding her guilty of that, in my opinion, it really does send a message. And that is that you cannot, just because somebody is no longer living, it doesn't make them less of a human. And I really think that's the message they were sending, which I actually happen to agree with. But I know how appeals courts go, and they love the strictest letter of the law. You know what I'm saying? So, well, it's about the fact that so the argument in the very beginning was, when do you, and I hate this argument because, like, but the legal argument, it's not a moral argument. The moral line for me is very, very clear, but it's a legal argument. At what point do you stop being a stop being a human and become a corpse? Okay. And that's, there's a line there legally. Like, she didn't get charged with mutilation of a human being. She got charged with mutilation of a corpse. So everything that she did was after he had passed away. And so that's the legal argument. I happen to think that they should have charged her that way, right? And that she is absolutely guilty of that. I agree with the verdict and I agree with the charge. I'm just saying that I think it's very possible that she will appeal all of this, and that one specific charge will probably be the only thing that she gets on appeal, and that's it. It doesn't change anything for. Right, exactly, Missy. I understand it. I'm just saying how I think that legally how it's going to go. Appeals courts are they really go by basically the strictest interpretation of the law. So now yeah, Missy, I want to be clear. I don't feel that way. I agree with the charge and I agree with the fact that she was convicted. What I'm saying is I'm not so sure that the appellate court will agree. That's all I'm saying. All right, because I don't want to like get into all of, I don't want to get into like the rest of it because it's a slippery slope and people have very, very polarizing opinions, and it's almost like politics, and I just don't I don't want to I don't want anybody to get, I don't want any arguing and stuff like that. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. So I think, Charlie, I think that Taylor Schabusiness has an incredible, incredible amount of rage inside of her. And I think it has been brewing inside of her for a very, very, very long time. I think that yes, she absolutely clearly has some mental health issues. And my personal opinion, I'm telling y'all, with the audio glitches, I've heard them only a handful of times in interrogations and in courtrooms. And I'm not saying it's demons, but it's demons. Seriously. But I think that for her, um, she is a combination of nature and nurture. I do think that she was likely born with some level of chemical imbalance in her brain, right? She doesn't think the way others do. She's got some type of chemical imbalance. And then you add into that a chaotic childhood, et cetera, et cetera. So she definitely has some mental health issues and she's definitely full of rage. However, I do not believe that her mental health issues are such that it rises to the level of what is necessary for her to be given a not guilty by reason of mental illness or defect. I feel that she is fully culpable for what she did. She took action to hide what she did. And to be quite frank with you, I don't think the methamphetamines are what made her do it. I think the methamphetamines freed the already existing darkness in her to allow her to do it. And it's also what kept her brain scattered enough that she was spun out. There's no other way to say it. She was just spun out and she left stuff behind, not intending to, because she took great pains in cleaning that shower. To be quite frank, that shower was pretty clean considering what she did in there. And she absolutely knew right from wrong. So I agree. But yeah, I don't think she's going to go free, AJ. I really don't. I do not think that the jury is going to be swayed in any way, shape, or form for anything that the defense brings. I think that the interrogation video alone really speaks volumes. And that's kind of why I wanted to replay it for anybody that missed it today, because the way I feel about it is one of the arguments that her attorney is going to make tomorrow is that the prolonged use of methamphetamines is what gave her, for lack of a better term, these are his terms, not mine, um, a basically brain damage. And there's really no evidence of that. And so I feel like, especially given the fact that when she is asked a question in the interrogation room, she is answering the question that is asked. Okay. It's not like he asks her a question about what she did that day and she starts talking about the elves in the room that are dancing in a jig in the corner, right? Like, she's coherent. She is cognizant. She's answering the question. She's lucid. It's chilling because she's so dadgum cold and matter of fact about it, but she doesn't come off as impaired. Well, Charlie, she didn't do that. It's not like it was done in a professional manner. Um, so I don't think she knew what she was doing, to be quite honest. There's a lot of stopping and starting and all of that. I don't think that the jury is going to be swayed by any of this that he puts on, but I do want to start this interrogation for you guys. I clicked the wrong thing. Let me click this. None of us, I think, Quinny, will ever, ever, ever be able to wrap our heads around what she did because we don't think that way. In order to harm another human being, to take their life in a situation where you're not defending your own, you have to dehumanize them. That is not something that is it's not easy to do. Most human beings cannot do that, which is good, you know? So and the we're never going to understand that kind of thinking. We're just not. All right, so let's now I want you guys to know and I can't take credit for this joke. This comes from Mel whatever. She is she's dressed like in a yellow outfit, looking like a home minion, due to the fact that when she was arrested, there was blood on her clothing. And so the police took her clothing and they didn't have anything for her to wear down at the station. So she's wearing like one of those yellow Tyvek suits or whatever, but she looks like a minion. That's Mel's joke. And it's very apropos. Exactly, cement shoes. Even if it were an accident, even if human beings that are in like war, right? And they have no choice. It's you or the other person, right? Soldiers come back with immense guilt from that. Human beings aren't designed that way, So I don't get how. Well, she used other ones too. The collector. She didn't just use that one. It's clear that she's not a professional at this, but I will tell you this. I do think that when she researched and looked up Jeffrey Dahmer, I think that, she read what's available readily on the internet. And, even in like the documentaries and stuff, there's some of the details of Jeffrey and what he actually did and how he did it are omitted. I do think that they're in like some of the court transcripts, but like she's not going to get her hands on that. So, she's clearly got some kind of infatuation in a negative way, obviously, with Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh, y'all hear that thunder? Here we go with the storms. It's getting wild in the Floridas. All right, here we go.
I hate this fucking outfit.
It's not flattering.
Never in my life. I'd rather be fucking naked than not.
All right, I'm going to mute really quick. And,
clean the fuck up. What are you doing?
I got to let the dog out. So
if you don't understand anything, please let me know. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to consult with a lawyer before questioning, to have a lawyer present with you during questioning, and you cannot afford to hire a lawyer. One will kindly represent you at public expense before or during any questioning if you wish. And if you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer present, you have the right to stop the questioning and remain silent any time you wish, including during questioning. Do you understand each of these rights?
Yeah.
Yes. Realizing that you have these rights, you're not willing to answer questions or make a statement?
Yes.
All right. Well, a few hours ago, police were dispatched to an address on Stony Brook that the parents' house, Shad area. Do you know Shad? I know how you know Shad.
He's my ex.
Your ex-boyfriend?
Yeah.
Well, they found a kind of disturbing stuff at the house there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of blood. Basically Shad's head. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Mm.
And then, so we know you were there at one point
Yeah.
with Shad.
Yeah.
But we also know you left. Now that band, is that your band?
No, that's my neighbor's.
Your neighbor's band?
Oh, the guy I was staying at?
Okay, so where did you go? Which place were the police get you? Was that Eastman? Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that where you live?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm staying there right now.
Okay, is that your apartment?
No,
No. Whose apartment is it?
that man.
And who is that man?
Got phones.
Scott?
Phones.
Okay. So, that's his van?
Yes.
Okay. And so, did you leave from Shad's house and go to Scott's house sometime today?
Yeah.
Well, they found part of Shad at his house, his mom's house. Found his head. Where's the rest of his body?
It's there. It's at his house.
It is in the house?
It's at his house.
Okay. Can you tell me what happened?
It's a good question because I blacked out during that time. But,
Okay.
I need time to, think.
No problem. Take your time, have some water.
Mm.
Do you think the body's still there?
I don't see why not, unless it's just up and move, which it could, you know.
Where do you think mine would be?
I was right there by the bed.
By the bed, you think?
Yeah, I was cuddling it by the bed.
You were what?
I was cuddling it by the bed.
You were cuddling the body with the bed? Oh, okay.
Was it just you and Chad down in the basement?
Yeah.
Was anybody else down there at any point in time? When do you think you went to Chad's house?
Shit. What was it, like 2 days ago?
Okay. Did you stay there the whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You start to remember now what happened with Chad? A little bit, what do you remember so far?
Shit. Oh, I don't know. There was this chain thing, right? And then, yeah, like I was playing around with it.
Okay.
And like we were smoking the bitch, right?
Okay.
And then, I'm terrible at explaining things, so, let's see here. And then, here comes the chain, right? And then he put it around his neck. Well, we were like playing around and shit, and then, I don't know, I was putting on it. And then, I don't know.
You say you're smoking a bitch, what would that be?
Ice.
Ice? Have you taken any other drugs tonight?
No, this is still from 2 days ago. I know my eyes are fucking crazy.
Were you smoking ice?
Yeah.
And how, on a pipe or someplace else?
The one that's on the counter, or on the table. I left the baggie there.
Did?
I did.
Where?
Green baggie, and it should be right on
But where exactly, Eastman or Stoughton?
at the left, that shed.
At Shad's. And you say, where was this place? Where would it be? In the basement or on the first floor or second floor?
Basement.
The basement. And it was ice in it was a bath, basically a bingo bag, a little small plastic bag.
Crushed up.
Crushed up. And just you and Jack. And so there was a chain. What kind of chain?
It's the one that's on the same place as where the bitch and, maybe on.
And where would that be again, please?
I think it's on a dresser.
On a dresser?
Is it on a dresser? I don't know.
I don't know either. I haven't been there. I mean, as best as you can remember. So you think that there could be a chain and the ice on a dresser down in the basement?
It's just weird. I got like a weird flashback from it.
Oh, what happened?
Yeah, it's short. It was real short. But
What did you see?
it's just I don't even know anymore. Like it was weird. I was riding him like a donkey. Okay, and then like I think so. I think that's what was happening. Like,
Okay. I just want to point out one thing really quick here. In the very beginning, when he says that they recovered Shad's head, right? She says, "That's fucked up. I fucked up." That right there is adios, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, good night to the insanity defense. When you say when you say something is fucked up and then you say I fucked up, that implies that you knew what you did was wrong, which means that the insanity defense goes completely out the window. Yes, I would love to have Anna up and hear some of her cases, because every once in a while, like she's always commenting and stuff. I know I couldn't do it anymore, Jenny. Um, but she's always a great commenter, but every once in a while she'll come in with a case, something relative to whatever we're discussing or whatever. And I always think to myself, I gotta stop and ask her to come up, because no, that suit is some like plasticky. It's a Tyvek suit. So yeah. She looks, in my opinion, she looks like a deranged banana. A Big Bird is also apropos. Several Mel whatever said a minion, like an evil minion. I think that weren't the bad minions purple? Later she's gonna come in and look like Veruca Salt. No. Violet Beauregard, my bad. The one that turns into the blueberry in Willy Wonka. Yes, cement shoes. Um, Anthony Tote is the only person who I've ever seen fill out a jail jumpsuit completely. He looked like an Oompa Loompa in it. Yeah. So, yeah, here we go. Let's keep going. I'm going to speed her up a little bit. Should I turn these on? There we go. And speed her up just a little bit so we can get through this. We don't need to go through all the nitty gritty, but we're just going to get through as much as we can, because tomorrow comes early, and I do want to listen to the argument that they make about this pharmacologist.
I don't know.
Were you two being intimate, having sex?
It was getting there.
Just getting there. Okay. So will this be considered foreplay?
Yeah, it was. And then I don't know. And then I just didn't stop. I don't know why. I didn't stop.
Good night, Quinny.
You guys done something like this
Your
in the
mouth
past?
feels better if it's hurting.
Not like that.
Do you use manual strangulation during sex at all? Is Shad like that?
A manual strangulation? Yes.
He likes strangulation?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, he does. Yeah.
And you do too, or just him?
Both of us.
So when's the last time you guys had sex besides potentially sworn?
She also looks a bit
Mainly
like
but
a
like we
pea.
didn't even get it. Like I'm sorry, but we didn't even get it.
Okay, so you didn't, all right, but when's the last time you did do
I
it?
mean, I played with him after. I don't know, like August.
And what would you guys like to do? Is there a certain role playing that you did with Chad, or was it just some sort of?
I forgot one other part that I wanted to highlight too before I forget. I know. I'm going to see if I can clean up this even more. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to point out is, and I forgot about this earlier, is that AJ Gannon, who was the guy that testified yesterday, they were all three together earlier in the day, right? And he didn't have a sense of anything that was to come. So that's even scarier, you guys. Like, I just wanted to point that out. You know, I feel like they're going to talk about this insanity defense, and I don't know. I have a hard time believing that she just all of a sudden, you know, snapped, no provocation at all, and she doesn't even talk about it in her interrogation. They weren't fighting, nothing was wrong.
Translation, how will you guys, do your, basically have sex?
Like, I just want to, you just, so, yeah, and we, go at it.
But does anybody like strangle the other person?
I like doing that alone.
All right, so you like being strangled, like having your airway, or do you like doing it to somebody else?
I like when it's somebody else.
Does Shad like being strangled during sex?
I think so.
Have you done it before?
Yeah,
with him?
yeah, he does. He likes it.
Have you used what we call props in the past?
Yes.
What?
Well, they dildo.
That or rope or chain or underwear or anything?
Yeah.
Mo,
But
you may file your
I showed the
complaint with
dildo
the
in
head of the HR
past,
department,
you know.
Team Psych Ward.
In the past or just recently?
When he was there, when he was on the bed. Yeah.
So obviously you say you smoke some ice. Do you take any prescription medications?
No.
You ever any mental health issues we should be aware of?
I don't know yet. I think
Have you been diagnosed with anything officially? Because I know that Shad has some issues, mental health issues, according to his mother. Since high school?
Yeah.
Where do you guys go to school together?
Before.
Before? Okay. Did you graduate the same class or?
Now, Mo,
Yeah.
sharing is caring. Come on now.
You graduated?
Hey, Lolo. Good to see you. All right,
So then
let's
you
get
guys
ahead
are,
a little
what,
bit
girlfriend?
because some of this is like, it's
For how
too
long?
much even for me. Let's see what she has to say
2
here at
years.
about the 32-minute mark, okay?
And where were these knives in the kitchen?
There and,
I think
they
that
were right next to
the
oven.
other cop is
Were
texting.
they in,
Turn off the
like a knife
keyboard sound.
holder thing or a drawer or where?
They were in, if you know what I'm talking about, on the,
Yeah, some holder that were
Yeah.
knives
that's the one right there, like, it was in the,
by the other.
idea. I really like that.
Okay.
That's how messed up my head was, like, I was really messed up, like, I don't know what was going on, I was just going crazy. And then, I don't know what was going on at all, because this, I think it was the open area, I wasn't in a room by myself. There was no
Amelia,
door.
don't be
It was an
stingy
open
now.
area.
Take
It
one
was an
and
open
pass
area, I didn't
pass
like
the
it
rest around. This is a
different.
family potluck. Come on.
at all,
Or was there anybody else
maybe upstairs.
upstairs? And how come why did you leave? Was anything calling you to leave the house?
I kept on hearing, footsteps.
Okay.
Gunshots, so,
Oh, is she cahooting with Alice, anaphylaxis? Alice loves that stuff.
Do you have a gun with you?
no, I didn't.
Do you have a gun in the house?
No, I think it was outside.
Okay.
Yeah, and then,
Do you afraid someone was coming
it was
there?
weird, I'm never paranoid, but then out of nowhere, like, I got
No, very.
first, like, for a couple of seconds, and then I go away, and then like, come back. It was weird, it was a weird night, like,
Yeah, I would
I
imagine.
don't even know, this one was weird.
Hmm.
I didn't like the openness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too much room.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's
Well, Michelle has some
skip a little.
table.
Yep.
And you Scott's pills.
Oh, this is where she shot
Scott's
up the
name on it, too?
trazodone that wasn't
Yeah.
hers.
And you crushed them up and then what did you do with them?
I put it in the syringe, I pulled it back, and then I shot him.
And you said you took a shot too?
Yeah, I did.
Where did you get the injection? Where did you jab from that?
I got it from a friend.
No, but then when you shot,
Where did I shoot him up?
yeah,
Shit, probably in the arm.
in the army then?
There.
You said you got the hypo from a friend? Did you?
He, Martin, this is Taylor Schabusiness. She has been recently today, like a few hours ago, found guilty of the death of Shad Therian. She killed him and dismembered him. And we're listening to her interrogation because the second phase of her trial starts tomorrow. She's out of Wisconsin. She's got a not guilty by reason of mental illness or defect. So that part of the trial starts tomorrow. So we're just going over this interrogation because there's some consciousness of guilt, which negates that plea.
Have you used drugs they call intravenously some years before?
Yeah.
He
All right,
really
so-
is a great interviewer.
Were you guys in the bedroom, in the living room, or someplace else where, bedroom? Okay. And then what do you guys do?
And then, we just took off because we just headed over to his mom's house. We got cozy on the bed. We drove into the driveway, right? Opened the door, we went down the stairs. We chilled on the bed, and right after we chilled on the bed, he put the collar on.
So you and Shad left Scott's van. Did Scott know you were leaving?
I said, hey, I don't even know, actually. I don't know.
Do you remember what time that was, or was it day? Dark out, light out? Night, you know what I mean? What time of day was it, you think?
Like 12 a.m. I guess. I really have no idea. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know.
Was it dark out?
Yeah.
So you went to Shad's parents' house, Shad's mom's house.
Mhm.
Did you meet anybody as you were arriving?
No. He didn't.
All right, and then you went into the basement.
Open the door and then into the basement, downstairs, and then onto the bed where he put on the collar.
Was it right away you started doing that?
I don't know. This is what I remember.
How long do you think you were in the basement?
I really don't know.
Was it during the day at all?
I really don't know.
Did you sleep at all?
I mean, I was playing with him all night, so.
Yes, Sam, she does.
Because you're playing with him all night. What else during the day?
I went into the dance. I still smell with him. Like, are you talking about the trophy session?
Well, from the time you got to Shad's mom's, how long do you think you were there before you left?
She doesn't do times, officer. She's already told you.
like, until he like died or like
No, until you actually left.
until I
And went
left?
back east. Yeah, so by the time you first got there to the time you actually left,
I don't know. I don't do times. Like, I really don't do it.
was it overnight?
Yeah.
So I'm asking because
So get a YouTube channel where all the
It
crazy
was-
ones like to be.
it's the boyfriend see.
Did at some point the boyfriend have to let you in,
Shit.
to the house?
Who don't have to go
Did he unlock the door
and open
and open it for you guys?
it?
Okay, so when you guys got there after shooting up the first time and coming back to the basement, he did open the door for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay,
So then, from then till the time you left, how long do you think it was? The whole day?
Good
Hour?
to see you, Sam, by the way.
It was,
Slave for
shit,
sandwich.
I don't even know. Like, he was
So you got there and Chad's mom's boyfriend let you in.
Mhm.
And you went to the basement. Did you start getting together right away, or did you sleep for a while, or what do you think you remember you did?
We went there. 5 minutes in, I was already choking.
All right, so it happened pretty quick.
Yeah.
Which means they went there with the intention to
Yeah,
Do
I
it.
was big time with the corpse.
Was it light out at some point? Was the sun out?
When I looked out the little window, I seen it.
You could see
I
light.
could see the
So
light.
you were playing with him when it was light out?
Yep.
All right, so particularly within, you said within 5 minutes of it getting there, you guys started, he pulled off the chains, I guess you're saying? And you put it around his neck.
Yeah.
Did you put one around, you never put one around yours, or did you put one
I
around?
did.
Yeah.
It was tiny. I finally got it around and I put it on my neck and I took it. After he was on, but like,
So, you started choking him, and when you were choking him, what did he do? What were you guys doing, I guess, is to try to explain it as best as you can.
He was coughing up the blood, right, and I was just waiting for him to die, and then, like, I was looking at his purple face.
So
Well,
see,
did he expect
he
you,
knew
did he
what
expect
she
to
was
have sex
doing.
with
Hey,
you?
Jane
I
Doe.
thought he was fucking, I'm like, damn, I'm already this far, so then I just like, yeah.
I understand, but why would he put the chain around his neck?
Because he's a kinky out there.
So was he expecting that
Hi,
sex?
Iris. Agreed.
Kinky sex, kinky sex.
I assume so.
But you said that he just started choking. How long did it take for him to die?
Like, 3 to 5 minutes, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea.
You said that when you were choking, you started coughing up blood.
Oh, yeah. Like, damn.
And you just decided that.
I just like, I like to see what happens.
So you just kept going harder and.
I just go
When he
harder.
died, when he died.
I just watched it, yeah. Well, this one was different. This one was calm.
Blood.
So when he put the chain around his neck, he thought that you guys were going to have kinky sex. Right? You think that's what Chad was thinking, maybe? What were you thinking?
I was gonna do the same thing. You know, I was going in, and I did, and I went in. But then he was like choking, but he didn't really say it. So I'm like, he put it on his neck. I already know I'm gonna choke him, and I did. So
All right, so before that, did you guys, was there any foreplay?
I wanted to highlight this, where it's Anna's. Where did it go? Shoot. Oh, it's Anna's comment about the child. So let me say this. It's my understanding that what occurred was she had the child in Texas. She left Texas and the child and moved back to Wisconsin. So the whole time she's been in Wisconsin, right, which is really her home state. That's where she's from. That's, she's known Shad since forever, right, since they were kids. And then she moved to Texas. Well, when she moved back to Wisconsin, she no longer had her child with her. Now, that's about the extent of what I know as far as her child. And I'm just glad to know that when she was like this, doing meth, etc., that her child was not around anywhere, that he was states away, and hopefully he is in a safe, loving environment, which every child deserves.
we launched onto the bed. We went from the stairs to the bed, and then, yeah.
We're clothes on and all.
Yeah, now good.
But before you chain went around his neck, were you and Chad like kissing or any foreplay or anything?
No, we were chilling at home.
You just chilling. So all of a sudden, the chain went around his neck.
It's almost like she
to get it.
He likes it.
Right.
I was gonna walk him like a dog.
And he wanted that.
I have no idea. Well, I was gonna do it anyway.
Okay.
See that audio?
And you claim it was his
Demon.
idea. With the chain.
I thought it was mine. No, it's his idea. It was all him.
All right, so you're on the bed. The chain goes around his neck and you start choking him. And you just realize that he was going to die or what?
I'm just like, shit. I think I went a little too far. Cause like I was blacking out while I was doing it, right? And then I look at him, I'm like, shit, he's already purple. I'm like, I don't know if he's fucking, is he good? Is he good? But then like when I woke up, like, during the blackout, I'm like, shit. Like he was coughing up blood. I'm like, I don't know. I just kept on going. Like, sad.
Hey, Crazy Mama.
You
Sorry.
said that when you were choking, you was coughing up blood, you kind of were like, I'm going this far, I'm just gonna keep going. Did you realize that by continuing that made you home?
Like, yeah, because I felt bad because I'm like, damn, he's gonna be losing after this. I'm like, might as well just kill him.
Okay. So you realized that by continuing that you may actually kill him.
I swear to God, he was telling me just so I'm like, wow. And I did it.
Okay.
Like, I swear to God, I'm like, I accidentally fucked up and then I'm like, oh my God. And yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I accidentally fucked
Oh,
up.
And
Yeah,
you-
that's
you
exactly
also
what
said you
happened.
Enjoyed it, right? Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah.
What'd you enjoy about that?
I'm just,
It was kind of thrilling, a rush, exciting. What was the feeling that you got out of it?
that's all it is.
I'm just trying to understand what you were feeling you're saying.
Yeah.
It's like joyous. You know, did it make you happy? Was it just kind of exciting, like opening Christmas presents
Like,
or?
I don't know. This is the thing that I have, like, I've always had, you know, like, you ever love something so much that you kill it? Like, it happens to me, that's the feeling that I have. I love something so much that I kill it. Like, I love it so much, and then I kill it. That's what happens to me. So,
All right, so he dies, he's dead.
Okay,
And
hold on. I
then
want to pause it right there because this is
just
an
kept playing with his
interesting
body.
statement that she made. And I caught this earlier, but now that I've heard it again and I've been thinking about things, it's an interesting turn of phrases that she uses there, right? If you ever love something so much that you kill it, because that's what happens to me. The reason that that's interesting is because that's similar to some things that Dahmer himself once said. And I actually think that, hear me out here, you guys. This is something I've been working on. I'm kind of thinking about it, but I'm wondering if the other part of Dahmer that she identified with more than anything else, well, not more than, just as an aside or also, was his fear of abandonment. Because I think the love, have you ever loved something so much you kill it, is not literal. I think what she's trying to express here is that she becomes consumed with the other person and does although she once loved so badly, she does everything that you would do to actually push a person away. Like she actually kills the love, not the actual human being. Only this time she actually did kill the human being. Does that make sense? I think that that might be her fascination with Dahmer, part of it, right? And part of the reason that Dahmer killed his victims was not because he wanted a companion, all right? What he actually wanted was total control. But he also wanted to be tied to that victim permanently forever. That every time somebody mentions one of the victim's names, right? That they become synonymous with the perpetrator, you know? So I kind of think that's because there's a part in the Dahmer tapes, right, that were on Netflix that really made me like, I don't know, for whatever reason, I know I've heard him say it before, but this time it just hit me a little different. And he wanted to possess these people permanently. So there are parts of what happened between him and the victims that he's never told, he will never tell. Those tapes, even if they played them in their entirety, which they do exist. Multiple people have heard them, just not the public. But even if they did play them all in their entirety, I promise you, I guarantee you, there are so many things that Jeffrey Dahmer intentionally left out, and it's his last measure of control and ownership over the victim, because the only two people that know what happened in that room are him and the victim. And again, he is in control of how much the people outside know about what happened in that room. And it's like a bizarre, twisted, throw the fuck off secret between the two of them. And it's weird, but I kind of feel like this might be the key to one Taylor Schabusiness. When you get rage, nobody else that we know of, when you get rage mixed with a fear of abandonment, you know, fear and anger they run along parallel paths. You know what I'm saying? I'm very curious about her, and I'm interested to hear what what her forensic psychologist has to say tomorrow, because that's the other person that's testifying. I do not think they're going to let the pharmacologist in, but I do think that obviously her forensic psychologist comes in. So we'll have to see.
Okay. And when did you decide
Hey,
to,
Maria,
how long did you play with
good
his
to
body?
see you.
Is that when you thought it was looked outside and might have been light out too?
She
Sure.
gotta be like,
You know what I should do really is I should go back through when this was originally played, right, in court, and the way that Law and Crime had it set up with the 3 different screens where you could see the interrogation, you could see her, and then I think the judge was at the bottom. And I'm very, very curious about the times that I'm glad you brought this up, Mama, Crazy Mama, because I'm curious about the times that she smirked. What was being said when she was smirking? And I have a theory that the times that she is smirking are probably times when she's giving a detail about what occurred, but not all of the details. So that's my theory. And I'm glad that you brought that up because I'm very curious about that. You guys are just the best chat. I swear. You guys make me think of all the things. There you go. This is what he said. Thank you, Music City Mom 2. I could completely control a person that I found physically attractive and keep them with me as long as possible, even if it meant just keeping a part of them. And then that sick, twisted part of it then became keeping literal parts. Okay. So Callie, let me tell you this story. So her husband is Warren Chabot, okay? And when they got married, he gave her the last name Schabusiness, okay? So she has legally changed her name. Her legal new government name is Taylor Denise Schabusiness. Yes, you heard correctly, Callie. She has been married this whole time. Warren Chabot is the father of her child. They've been married. They're still married. Oh, but are you wondering where Warren is? Well, let me tell you where Warren is. Warren is currently in prison on federal drug charges, meth. However, don't worry, he's been framed. He's been framed. So there you go. All right, let me skip forward a little bit because I want to get to, here's where she's looking like Violet Beauregard.
Okay.
like say this is the bed.
Okay, so this is the top of the bed?
Yeah, and I pulled him, and then his head was hanging off.
So you're probably laying face out. So
Yeah.
his back was on the bed.
The back was on the
His
bed.
head's partially off the bed.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then the tub was like right there.
Like the pail that you had the
Yeah.
head.
Jen Lou would never
So
pull your
basically
leg,
kept your
Music City
bucket
Mom.
right here.
Yeah, and then from there, I started just,
You cut his head off.
yeah.
After you cut his head off, I know you said you dumped the pail at one point into the shower.
In the shower, yeah.
Did you leave the body there for a while to drain into the pail or what? How?
It's all in the tub and the tub. You found the blue tub, right?
I don't think they're slowly going through the scene, so there's a lot of this blood. Did you pull the tub under there?
Oh no, I moved the tub like real fast.
Oh, so you cut the head and pulled the tub under there.
No, when I was dismembering the
Yeah.
body,
Yep.
there was, I mean, I went like this with a knife, so there's blood fucking going everywhere, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and then,
But initially, when you cut his head off, there was a pail underneath, correct? Okay, so the head went into the pail,
Yeah.
the blood went into the pail. Did the blood bucket fill all the way up with blood?
no,
No? Okay.
No.
Then, did you move him again when you started with the pail? Because you're talking about that blue Tupperware thing.
so I think there's a black pail, and then there's a blue Tupperware thing, right, and then his head was hanging off. And then I cut the head off, and then, I moved it over, and I brought it back, and then I put it in the pail.
Oh,
Okay, so
for
initially the head was the
business.
Tupperware thing, kind of,
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of blood in that one right now.
and the blue Tupperware thing.
Yeah,
At any point did you, like, before you, because you said you removed the head first,
No.
did you start removing limbs right away, or did you kind of wait a little while? And
that's the weird thing, like, cause, when it started happening, like, I started, like, nodding out.
Okay.
And then I was going crazy on the limbs, like even while I was sleeping. And it looked messed up, and I didn't like it.
Okay. But you believe the blue tub, that big tub, like, probably, I'm thinking it's 4-year size, only like Tupperware tubs about like this size, that's your cubic foot one, and that's where most of the blood is. Along like a bunch of his organs.
The organs are everywhere too.
His organs are everywhere.
Yeah.
Did you like hide organs in the house?
Oh, they're in plastic bags. They're in plastic bags.
In the tunnel?
And backpacks.
In the
In the
back?
backpacks and then in the.
Did you remove all organs, like intestines and everything, or where are the intestines?
Okay, for those that might be wondering, the reason that she has gone from looking like a deranged banana to now looking like Violet Beauregard after she stole the piece of gum from Willy Wonka is because she had a pretty significant cut on her thumb. And they actually took her to the hospital to get it stitched up. However, because it had been so long, she was not a candidate for, yes, she did, crazy mama. Anyway, she's not a candidate for stitches. They don't work when a cut's been like that for a while. I don't know what they ended up doing. And then they probably gave her like the liquid Band-Aid or whatever, or liquid stitches. Anyway, that's not even the point. Skin glue. But that is the reason for the outfit change. She is now wearing the hospital outfit change. Yes. Yeah. She's crazy. Crazy as a bed bug, but not insane.
Do you remember?
They're gonna be in a plastic
Yeah,
bag.
crazy glue, whatever that stuff's
So that
called.
blue tub is always just all blood, is what you, I thought you were saying.
It should be like only like this much.
Alright. Okay, we're just trying to clarify a couple things, I'm just trying to make sense of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
alright, I appreciate it, thank you.
All right.
And I think the reason they're asking this is because there is I don't know a delicate way to put this. There is a lack of blood at the scene, for lack of a better word. I just can't think of a delicate way to put it. And even the blood that they did find, right? There's still stuff missing. And yes, crazy mama, it probably did initially, but she did clean up. And I think what he's trying to ascertain is what happened to some of the blood, because I don't think it's all accounted for. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think she really knows all of that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there's parts of it she probably doesn't remember because, right. And the fact of the matter, and this was an interesting thing that I think she poured it down I think she poured it in the drain, Adrian. That's what I think. And that's what he's asking her. And I think that's the reason that there is tissue in the drain cover thing. What I found particularly disconcerting about the leg in the crockpot box was the condition of the leg. I had envisioned it from just the way the articles were written, right? The things that I had read, I envisioned it one way and it was absolutely not that way. So it's yeah. Well, and I think they're trying to they're because also, and this was what I found interesting too, when they went to arrest Taylor, when the detectives came to search the home, okay, in the crime scene, guys were there, people were there. There was some like bloody flesh kind of on a cigarette in the ashtray. And I think that there is some type of speculation, at least for me anyway, and just because it's Dahmer, right, that she was infatuated with, and he took it to the nth degree. Well, I thought the leg was intact and it was just like it sounded like just a severed leg, and it wasn't. it was the majority of the flesh was off of the thigh, and that's how I'm going to leave it. But I do think that what they're really trying to hint at here is we're missing some stuff. Where's it at? And that's, you know what I'm saying? But I do think that there is the potential that it is possible that Taylor might have consumed something. I just, she did some things that are not necessary in the dismemberment. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are yourself?
All right.
It does make you wonder, Crazy Mama. Dahmer did that.
Out at the house right now, there's, you know what a medical examiner is? They're the ones that kind of like take care of people that die and see how they die. And so, you know, they have a bunch of questions for us that we really can't answer. And the biggest questions that they have is exactly how did you dismember Shad?
Nice.
Did you cut arms, or I mean, was it just internal organs, or?
So you started on the head, right?
Yeah, and then I don't know from there. I just want to.
Did you cut it, or did you remove his arms? Okay, can you show me where you were cutting the arms? Right, the elbows, was this part of the arm left on?
You guys go in that blue bed.
Okay, look.
Yeah.
But you know what you cut off at the elbows? Okay, you cut both arms off at the elbows?
I hope so. Because like I was saying that dismemberment process I did was like really messed up because like I was nodding out. And then I was like sawing it off.
Did you
use just a knife?
Just a knife, so like, yeah.
Did you remove any part of did you dismember his legs at all? What was your done the legs?
I think there's one leg that's actually intact.
Okay.
And then maybe. I have no idea.
Where was his body located when you did this dismembering? Was it in one spot, or?
Yeah, it was all in the same spot.
And where's that again?
Blue tub.
So the body's in the blue tub as you were cutting it up? Okay, did you empty the tub at points, or, you know what I mean?
Was there a bed down there, or just a mattress, or?
There was a mattress that was laid down. There should be blood on the sheets. Like that, but I tried to get it out. But
All right, so you guys pretty much get the gist of all of this. Like, you know, she's something else, I'll tell you that. I don't even know how to even categorize her other than evil, which is very upsetting because usually I'm super good at articulating these types of things. Adrian, I have to tell you guys, to be honest with you, there is a part of me that really wonders that. I mean, really. Exactly, Jujubee. Like, she used the correct, vernacular. She used the correct term. And if you want to, Crazy Mama, I would never hold you back. I mean, just absolutely true evil. But what I find so interesting, because this happens in almost every case, right? There's few exceptions. Like, there are people that have come forward that knew, not John Wayne Gacy. I cannot think of a single person that actually had anything nice to say really about John Wayne Gacy or Dennis Rader. A lot of people describe Dennis Rader basically as an asshole, and John Wayne Gacy the same way. But people like Ted Bundy, where he had a whole entire relationship, and he wasn't mean to her or abusive to her. He was kind, he was caring, and he was everything that she thought she wanted, right? Except for he had this whole ass evil dark side to him, right? And then with Taylor Schabusiness, you guys really do need to go and watch Alex Erickson's live from earlier today because she went through some TikToks, and one of the TikToks is from a person who knew Taylor and just not can't wrap her head around this. This is not the Taylor that she knew. And so her theory was, this friend's theory was that when Taylor moved back to Wisconsin and had to leave her son in Texas, it caused her to go into postpartum depression. And then, really, Charlie? Wow. No, it's not. No, it's not. But yeah, you're okay, Pointer Leverage? You get some nasty storms, babe? It does kind of make me wonder about I mean, I know that doesn't typically have a place in true crime, but there are some cases where it's just, oh, wow. Thank you so much, Elaine, because I cannot stand my voice. So the fact that you like it, I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad to have you. Welcome in. But apparently I wouldn't think so, MDH. Honestly, I wouldn't. She remembers quite a bit of details. But anyway, there are a very few cases that I've ever taken a step back and wondered if there wasn't something else going on with these people on top of it. I don't know. It's just there's something decidedly different about Taylor Schabusiness, and I mean, it's beyond the evil. Like, obviously, the crime is heinous. Obviously, her cold way of describing it, the detached way that she's able to speak about it. Oh, thank you, Modine. My voice is terrible, but I'm so beautiful that you don't even notice the voice. Thank you very much. I can't stand my voice. But yeah, there's something, I don't know how to explain it. I think, MDH, I think that there is there's some evidence to suggest, I know you are, Mo, there is some evidence to suggest that Taylor did intend to do this, and that she did think about this. Oh, thank you, Jujubee. You guys are so sweet. I just don't like it. I think I think most people are like that. I think most people, hear their voices and are like, oh, do I sound like that? It reminds me of that, the Star Wars Family Guy between when Lois is Princess Leia and Peter is Han, and she says, "You're gonna attack them," and then Peter says, "You're gonna attack them." That's how you sound. Imagine listening to that all day. Like, it's just funny to me, and that's how I. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Elaine. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Very generous and very sweet. I appreciate that. Yes, see, I think that this is an idea that she may have become fixated on. This, and there may be, you know how, like, on Criminal Minds they talk about a stressor, like that is an actual thing. It's not made up for the TV show, but it's just, how I remember it. There is there is a part of me. Oh, thank you, Music City Mom. You've come to love it. It take you a while, babe. But there is, excuse me, a part of me that wonders if the stressor for her that really sent this abandonment situation that she might have into a complete tailspin, excuse me, was when she left Texas and she left her baby. I'm wondering. Oh, Charlie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's incredibly generous. I appreciate that. Listen, it's taken me a long time to just be able to hear my voice. Okay. I don't ever really watch my replays. Um, I had to listen to myself earlier though, and I was like, oh my God, I really sound like that. But anyway, excuse me, hold on a second. Let me do a good cough so I can be done with it. So anyway, I'm wondering if that was not the hey Todd who dat Clement, if the leaving her son and moving back to Wisconsin where she didn't want to be, um if that is part of what got this ball rolling, as it were. And I think on top of because she clearly does. I mean, there's no getting around it. She does have some type of mental health disorder. I don't know what it is. I don't know what her diagnosis is. And to be perfectly honest with you, I don't think um, the people that evaluated her have a good sense of it either. At least not the state's um, forensic psychologist. But anyway, um, I kind of wonder if that having to move back to Wisconsin without her child, on top of what is, I mean, her mental health illness, whatever that is, if it just created the perfect storm of events, which is what caused um, almost, I want to say Juju beat the baby was young. I'm talking about maybe 6 weeks, something like that. Um, because the only pictures that I've seen that were on the TikTok, the baby was a newborn for sure. I'm not exactly sure where the baby is. I don't want to, like, I've never looked into it because I just am hoping that wherever he is, he's happy and healthy and thriving. And beyond that, that's all I care about. You know what I mean? So I'm curious about all of those things, and I think she probably selected Shad because first and foremost, um, she knew him. There was familiarity there. And there was a level of trust on Shad's part. Unfortunately, he trusted the wrong girl. I'm not sure, Adrian. I know that she allegedly, according to her friend, tested negative for methamphetamine, but the baby tested positive. And very sad situation. So, oh, does he? I have a hard time in cases like this when there's a child and the crime is so heinous, not just heinous, but it's also been widely publicized. Because I'll never forget when I watched, the child that Diane Downs was pregnant with when she was right before she got pregnant, right before she was arrested, and then, subsequently was pregnant with while she was on trial. And then she ended up having a daughter. Well, that child grew up and was adopted, right? Well, the kids in her circle of friends knew who she was. They knew that she was Diane Downs' daughter. And one day they invited her over and they put the movie Small Sacrifices in. And that's how she found out that they said, that's your mother. She knew she was adopted, but they, told her, right? So of course she goes home and asks her mom about it. And it's a difficult conversation. And then she got curious and she ended up reaching out to Diane Downs, and it just sent her in a tailspin. Diane Downs is just a very, very sick and dangerous person. And so I think about that when I think about children in cases like this, that that's why I just want to, it just makes me want to give that little baby, his anonymity. So, and just, bless his little heart. I agree, Brenda Eccles. I do not think that she is. There's a difference between somebody who's like crazy, which I don't even like that word, but mentally ill, and the legal definition of insanity. And I think that she absolutely has mental health issues. Absolutely. I think she suffers from mental illness. But I think that she is a 100% culpable for her actions. I think she knew right from wrong at the time. I think she took steps to avoid capture, um, even though she confessed immediately and didn't put up a struggle with the cops. But, you know, that doesn't mean that she's not in her right state of mind. If that makes sense? So I just think that, I don't think that the jury is going to be swayed by anything that the defense puts up as that goes towards her, insanity defense. I think they're going to keep in mind all of the things, everything that I just listed. I mean, they listened to that interrogation video. And I just don't think, I think she's headed to life without the possibility of parole, which, I mean, she's getting medication currently. And as long as she takes her medication, right, she can keep her mental health issues at bay. But I do think that even being on the medication, I think that there is something inside of her that is dangerous, and she is a danger to other people, and that she cannot walk freely in society. And that's just how I feel about it. But I want to thank all of you guys for being here tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you have not done so, please give your girl a thumbs up. And yes, Elaine, her interview with police sounded very much in control, though. She is highly complex, in my opinion, but she should never be allowed in the community. Amen. All right. So thanks, everyone, again for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I will be back live in the morning to stream part 2 of Wisconsin versus Taylor Schabusiness, the insanity part of the trial. All right. And I'm curious about how this is going to go, because I think that the burden of proof is on the defense. And I think that in Wisconsin, the defense presents first. But don't quote me on that, because I know that's how they did it with Dahmer, but maybe they've changed, so I don't know. But I'm very curious about that. All right. So I'll see you guys all here tomorrow, and have a great rest of your night. All right. Bye.